Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 160 of the Holding Court podcast. Today, I'm chatting with a very special guest, Mary Taylor, mom of two, foundation co-founder, and MLB wife. We'll chat about baseball life, her support for rescue dogs, and her upcoming event with the CT3 Foundation. All coming up right now on Holding Court.
Bum 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 bum.
Hello. Happy
Hi,
belated
Kourt.
birthday.
Thank you.
I feel like I got you on a big week, so I feel honored to finally
I
have you.
always make time for you. Finally asked me to be on your podcast. Of course,
You've
I
been
would make
waiting?
time for you. I have been patiently waiting. When Chase got the call, I was a little bit like, am I next?
So
But
I didn't think Chase was going to say yes. And so I never asked her. And then she confronted me because she loves a nice confrontation and a very blunt
she does.
confrontation. And she was like, "Are you going to ask me?" And I had no idea what she was talking about. She's like, "I'll say yes, but I need you to ask me. Look me in the eyes and ask me." So I feel like she kind of bullied me into it, but
It
it's
was
fine.
a good episode.
Yeah, she was good. She had a lot going on with like her iPad dying and like a lot of she was moving around a lot, but it's okay. It was
She
very
had
chill.
some juicy stories. So
She did. That's why I had her on. Um, are you are you in Arizona? Where are you at?
yeah, we're going back to LA tomorrow morning. So yeah, it's our first time. It'll be our first time on an airplane with the two kids. I did it by myself. No, I did it with my dad coming here, and Chris drove. So tomorrow we're just flying back.
I think I saw that. You had a 72-hour delay or something crazy,
It
right?
was so it's like something that has to happen with each kid's first travel experience. It happened with Theo. We went to
Mhm.
Hawaii. Our flight was delayed like 6 hours. We took off. We were almost halfway there, and then some lady took too many sleeping pills and passed out, and we had to turn all the way back around. We're delayed again, took back off, and then made it all the way there. So that was Theo's. And then this one, we got there, the flight was canceled, went back home, came back, that flight was canceled. And then we got in like 13 hours late. So that was Koa's first travel experience. So it's just what has to happen, I guess.
Too many sleeping pills. Wow. For
Yeah.
that, that's not even a wow. It's a choice.
She
It's
woke
like
back up like as we landed. She was I thought she had passed away, so I was like trying to be respectful, but then like after we landed, she like sat up and was like, "Oh, did we make it?" And we were like, "No, we are in LA."
and you are on the no-fly list now. I always need a follow-up of things that happen on flights, and I never get them because there's
Yeah, I
been
just wonder like, okay, so if you do that, are you allowed do you get arrested? Like what happens after that?
I don't
You obviously you don't get arrested, but do you
is that
get
a
in trouble
crime?
at all?
Is that a
Do you get in
crime?
trouble for like ruining everyone's day? Like we had to get a whole new flight
Yeah.
crew and everything, and she was just like, "Oopsie, I
I would
took too many
assume you're
sleeping pills."
banned. I don't know I guess if they were her own sleeping pills, I guess there's a lot of layers to it, but I
Yeah,
feel like there's always these medical things that happen on flights, and I get so invested, and then you just never find out what
yeah.
happens, and you know. So
Yeah.
there should
Well,
be
she's
a
listening.
website.
She's out there.
Yeah, there should be
Yeah,
a website we can go on and get an update or something.
yeah.
Well, you mentioned now a family of 4, and I feel like that's the biggest question everyone always asks if it is a bigger transition, holy shit, blow up your life from 0 to 1 or 1 to 2. So far, what have you got?
I think 0 to 1 is more insane. Like it's just you have no idea what you're doing. So like the confidence is not there. But and also Theo, not to throw him under the bus, but he was just he had a very loud cry. So that as a first time mom was like, I'm sure you know, you're just like Googling everything, like, is blank normal? Like, is every
Right.
5 seconds, like, is this normal? Like, um, and I remember when he was born, the nurses were like, wow, this is the loudest cry like we've ever heard in this hospital. And we were Oh, in Cedars-Sinai, like in Los Angeles. Okay, nice. So they're like, he has really strong lungs, which is great. And we're
It's a
like,
pretty busy
awesome.
hospital. So does he get a plaque on
Yeah,
the wall for that?
yeah.
Should be
I certainly wish I got some sort of plaque or award, but we didn't. But yeah, having the second, it's just, I mean, the juggling of the two schedules is hard. And then like, thankfully he was an off-season baby, but so I haven't spent a lot of time alone with the two of them. I have to really hand it to moms that do that during the season because I don't know, like especially at this age where he's just turned 2, so he's a danger to himself, and then like I have no hands to be doing
right.
anything, so it's kind of just like a lot of me telling him to stop doing something and him just continuing to do it.
And is there the stereotypical jealousy of your attention with
So
Theo?
it's
Or
like, yeah, it's like weird because it doesn't come across like an angry jealousy. It's just like he wants to be picked up.
yeah,
He's had a lot of transitions with us, like moving to Arizona or like coming to Arizona and all of that and getting another brother. So I feel like he's just kind of been a little bit extra needy, but hey,
he gets a
we love
pass.
it. I like to be needed, but like I only have 2 hands. So
Right. I know, but I feel like your timing is good with 2 off-season babies. I have to hand that to you.
I know.
That was my timing was not great in
He was
mid-July.
July. Oh yeah, 4th of July. Come on.
Yeah. I thought it was gonna be so perfect because my due date, I think, was the first day of All-Star break. And I'm thinking, this is great. Like, Justin's gonna get All-Star break, and then we're gonna get another 3 days, and then I was a couple
I
weeks
love
late.
how you're like excited about 6
Did not
days too. Like
right.
that's still so short.
I
It's
know.
gonna be amazing.
I know. It's just unhinged because then I was early, had him, got home from the hospital second day. Justin's on a flight the next morning to Seattle at 5 or 6 a.m. And then it was their long 3-city West Coast road trip. So I'm like,
Wait, did he get traded at the same time? Wait,
um, like 3 weeks after that. So it was a nice
oh my God.
treat. No, it was like a 3-city West Coast road trip. So I'm like, bon voyage. Like, I'll be here. It's fine. And obviously they feel bad, like guys aren't like, I don't know, maybe some guys are like,
Yeah, yeah.
"Ooh, dodge those first weeks." And then the trade was like a month later. So off-season baby. I love that. Good for you. And I
Yeah.
feel like your kids are like, what, exactly 2 weeks apart, 2 years, 2 weeks.
Yeah. Koa was a little bit early, so he was like due 3 weeks after Theo's birthday, I think, around, and so yeah. But I'm glad he's December 1st. The one thing I like kind of wanted was for them to have different birth months because I didn't want to like,
Oh, I claim
yeah.
all of October as mine. So
The whole month until isn't your birthday on Halloween?
yeah. So I
Yeah,
feel like
you get
people
the
start
whole
celebrating Halloween very early now. You go into Michael's now in July and there's already Halloween stuff. So
yeah, but that's how it is for like every holiday,
yeah.
I feel like. But yeah.
And I feel like I don't know, a baby too close to Christmas, they're not gonna like that. It's tough.
Yeah, a Christmas birthday would be challenging, like especially as a kid,
Yeah.
because
I
you
don't
don't
want
want to. Yeah, and don't give me like one gift for two. Like, don't give me a birthday combined present. Like, I
yeah.
would need 2
Can't have
different
that.
ones.
I'm
Yeah,
glad you avoided that.
yeah.
Kudos to you for that. Um, let's turn back the clock. I want to hear the story. I've heard it so many times of how you and Chris met.
Have you heard it so many times?
I mean, I've heard it a couple times. I think I heard
We
Chris's.
talk about it a lot. We just can't stop telling people how we met.
I've heard it is a story for the ages, but I think I've heard Chris tell it, and then you've told it, and then I think I've heard you telling other people the story. So I've heard it a few times. It's really
Yeah,
built
I
up this
obviously
story
love to
to
tell
be
you.
like this incredible meet cute, but
Okay, how did Chris and I meet? So I lived in LA for a while before I met Chris. I met Chris in like 2019. So I had been there for like 6 years already. And I went to a game with my friend and I really didn't want to go. I was like not a baseball fan. But my friend was like, come on, like I'm going with these 2 guys and I don't want to be the only girl. And my friend canceled, like, you have to come. So I went, and I thought because she's from Colorado that she was like mentioned knowing someone on one of the teams, and I was like, oh, you're from Colorado, probably the Rockies, like whatever. We're at this game, like I'm just sitting here, whatever. And then after the game, we went to El Compadre, which I used to live in Echo Park, so I would go there all the time. Didn't realize how crazy it gets
It's like
after
isn't that
games.
where Sandy Koufax
Yeah.
contract or something. There's
Oh, really? See, I didn't know any of that.
Don't fact
I
check
mean,
me.
it seems very
Some
historic.
iconic Dodger moment
I know
happened.
they have flaming margaritas. So we had some flaming margaritas, and then Chris walked in and they were like, this is Chris, like he plays
For the Rockies.
baseball. And I was like, for the Rockies, that's awesome. And then I don't know, then we went back. I lived on the west side at that time. Then we went to the Whaler with him and our friend, and then the rest is history. I guess that's not a very like interesting story, but like we went to some cool places along the way. And then so that was at the very end of the season. It was like end of September. And then I don't think they made it very far in the playoffs that year. I don't know. That was 2019.
19. No, I think I lost against the Nationals, and then I think the Nationals went. Maybe I'm making this up. Something. I mean, they didn't go.
It wasn't very long because I remember like I met him and then he like had to go away. I mean, it's also very hard for people. Like I didn't know. I now I grasp the schedule, but I feel like even like our best friends still don't understand. Like he is not available on a Saturday night. Like during the season, he is not available any night.
No,
especially not a Saturday night. Like maybe once a month on a Sunday night he could be available, but. Yeah, so that's how I met him. I did. Oh yeah, he likes to tell people that I asked him if he's ever hit a home run before because I thought it was like a hole in one. And so that was a really dumb question that I asked him. And then I was like really impressed when he said that he had hit one. I was like, oh my God, that's really cool that you've done that before.
Really impressive.
And then he like went home.
Were you chatting? Like, was he? I mean, I know Chris. Was he like chatty Cathy that night, or was he? Like, did he get your number at the end and then talk to you after, or were you guys like chatting up a storm that night?
We were like chatting, but it's not like he's going to be talking like that much. Knowing him now, I realized he was really giving it his all. He was really trying. I think he liked that I was from Hawaii. Like he liked that part because he was just starting to surf. So it was kind of something he could like talk to me about. Not that I don't surf, but it was like, you're from Hawaii and you like know about the waves or whatever. And then he got my number and then they went on this road trip. And I remember thinking like, guys in LA I'm probably never going to hear from him, whatever. And then he didn't text me for like, I think that was a Sunday. He didn't text me until like the next Thursday or Friday. So at that point I thought, of course, I'm not going to hear from him. He seemed nice, but I guess he like actually, wasn't nice. Yeah. And then he just sends me the picture of the team flight, like the one where they dress up, the last flight of the.
Oh yeah.
He like sent me that picture. And I was like,
but then they can't do hazing. So then they all have to dress up, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. So I was like, what is this?
And wait, what was he that year?
I think that's when he was the cone head. He was a cone head.
Oh.
So I just received this photo of like the entire team in front of an airplane. And he's like, have a good weekend or whatever he said. It's like, cool. What's that? And then
you didn't get the ick from that?
I think if he would have sent me a close up of him, I would have had the ick, but it was more like a zoomed out everyone. And I mean, yeah, I just was kind of confused by it, but I guess it was a conversation starter because I didn't know what that was. And then, then when he came back, we like went out to dinner or something. And then he was like a very consistent, nice boy. So, the rest is history.
He's a very consistent, nice boy. I feel like we found two gems. Not that, I mean, I feel like all of our friends, guys are great. I think it's the stereotype of athletes. And then you tell your friends, oh, I'm talking to this baseball player. And they're like, enjoy getting cheated on or whatever they say. I don't know. I'm like, wow,
I
thank you.
know.
So kind
I
of you.
know. I think the good thing is that my friends, like, no one I know knows anything about baseball, so no one was particularly impressed or like not in a bad way, but they were just kind of like, okay, that's Chris. I guess he plays baseball. And I remember I still didn't really know I thought he was just I didn't know anything about baseball. So I told my mom, like, oh, I'm talking to this guy. He's on the Dodgers, but like I don't think he's like I don't know if he's like good or anything. Like he just like is
You're like, he
on
has hit a
them.
home run, but
Yeah,
that's
he's
about
hit the one home run, which he's like really proud of. But yeah, so yeah, really had zero idea. And then it was the off season, so he went back to Virginia and he came back to LA a few times. And then then it was 2020 lockdown season. So I really missed out on some quality time with you guys in the stands, but we really made up for it.
I know. And I feel like someone going into baseball life and having no understanding of it. And then the first season you have is the COVID season. And there's cardboard cutouts in the stands and no one can go to games. And it's very, were you watching the games on TV or you just didn't care? I feel like at that point you're not invested because you haven't, if you had met the year before and you got into it and got into the season and knew what was going on, but I don't know. But there also wasn't that much to watch on TV other than like Tiger King and there was
Tiger King. Yeah, I did watch that.
So you were watching that instead of
yeah. I would kind of like check in on the game and see how it went, but I also didn't know what having a good game was. So, you know,
you've come so far, I have to say. You really have.
So I would just kind of like look at how, if he if he got a hit, I guess. And then sometimes he would bring me home like Chick-fil-A.
That is
and that was about it until I think during the bubble is when I realized, okay, I need to figure out what's happening here, like in baseball, because everyone else seems to really know what's going on. And we were all down in the little like side thing watching. And I didn't know there were no like crowd cues like there normally, because there was no
you don't want to clap
fans. So I didn't really know. Yeah, I just had to wait until you guys kind of let me know what was going on. Like, when you're at a game now and people think that it's like if they hit it and it just like is going high in the air, everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's a home run. Like that was me.
Flinch. I don't even flinch now. Like,
yeah. Now I know better. Now I understand. And I'm like, they're trying to explain to my friends the rules and I can't even believe that I even know them.
I'm so proud of you. What made you decide to go in to enter the playoff bubble? Because this was very serious, and I feel like we always go back to the playoff bubble on this podcast for so many layers to it. But
we're not over it. I'm still not over it.
There's a serious thing with it. We had to enter in. Well, if you didn't have kids, you had to enter in the first round bubble, like the wild card when they were playing the Brewers. And then if we won that round, we were off to Texas for however many days. And I think you were on the fence about joining the bubble, obviously, right? Like you guys were still very fresh and you had your whole career going on. So what made you decide to just dive on it and join the bubble?
I think I was it seemed kind of like a once in a lifetime, hopefully, as not like I didn't think that COVID was going to last forever. So it seemed like a kind of like interesting thing to do, I guess. And I honestly was kind of scared to even bring it up to my boss because I thought he would be like, "You're doing what?"
You're like, it's a once in a lifetime.
Yeah. I mean, what month was that even? Was it October? Yeah.
Yeah, I think
September started like September.
The very last days of September, yeah.
Yeah, so we had only been together like officially together for like 8, can't count, like 8 months. So
yeah.
I don't know, but COVID kind of sped everyone's relationships up, I feel like. So I don't know, it seemed like a long time to be apart, I guess. But once my boss was all for it and just was like, as long as you're still working. I mean, no one's going into the office anyways. So I kind of just went for it. But yeah, I mean, it was an experience.
It was. I know, and I think the fact that it was now or never, like you had to join them. You couldn't say,
Yeah.
or
If there was an option, yeah.
I think someone did join late. They were like closing on a home or something, and then they joined, but then you had to move into another hotel.
Yeah, for like 2 weeks,
For
right?
like, yeah. And at that point, if I had already, and the team was winning, I wouldn't have joined the bubble if late.
You wouldn't want to be the bad
I
luck.
wouldn't have, I wouldn't have messed with it because I
Mhm.
imagine I move in and then they immediately lose. I'm like, sorry guys, glad I
Yeah.
could make it.
Yeah.
No, I just remember you joining and being on the fence. What do you remember about when we first met?
It was at the Langham, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, and we were playing that game that you like to play. I can't
still
remember.
play it. I played it last week, Sequence.
Sequence. Okay, yeah, we were playing that. I remember it was you, Kelly, and Maddie, probably. I think those were the 3. And Suze? Maybe Suze.
Yeah.
And I remember, yeah, that's all I mean, I remember you being so beautiful and just being like, wow, who is that? No, I weirdly specifically remember Max being like very interested in what it meant to be a pescatarian and like and what that experience is like for me. And asking like lots of questions about that.
We tried to get like a tuna salad and it was a chicken salad or something. And then you were like, I just remember that. That was how
Oh, okay. Maybe that's why we were talking about it. Cause he was asking me if it's like very challenging for me to go out to dinner or something. And I just thought it was very sweet that he even cared. So
really
that's
kind.
what I remember about that. And then I remember that and then never seeing anyone again until the flight to Dallas. Because I didn't know that everyone was watching the games.
Wait,
I was just watching them in my hotel room by myself.
So you missed the Chase drama and everything? Wow. Chase was just jumping rope every day, so it's fine.
Oh, I saw her jumping rope.
I don't think she ever stopped. I honestly think at 2 a.m. she was jumping rope.
I was really impressed by her jump roping because it's really, really hard and takes a lot out of you. But yeah, I remember, I wasn't a part of the group me message. So I remember on the flight to Dallas, I had not met like anyone. And I remember Chris, like at that time, was very bad at introducing me to people. So we would just walk by like Kara and Will, and he'd be like, "Hey, Will," just keep walking. And, like, was that a potential friend or someone?
Should I have met her or
yeah,
life? And like, no, it's okay. Yeah. Wait, that makes me sad. Where did you? I think about you like peering out your hotel window.
So no, it's fine because I had no idea. It's not like I thought I was being excluded. I just thought that everyone else was in their room. So I was just in my room. Like every night Chris would come back. Yeah, I would be watching the game by myself in my room. I mean, like, why did I come into this bubble? This is so boring.
For the food, obviously, in the pool.
Yeah.
To be fair, I don't think we were supposed to gather. Like in the beginning,
Really?
I remember they had this big, in my mind, it was a big inflatable screen. It could have been something different, but that's my memory. And then they put all these chairs and they separated them. But then they were like, don't gather too much. I don't know. The rules were obviously very wild. So, but I feel like you would have heard the celebration and the popping of champagne and all of that. You were just.
There was champagne? I'm like, I'm getting sad.
No, I'm getting sad because I no. And this whole time you said Kara was this welcome wagon and everyone like Kara didn't meet you at that point, right?
No, Kara welcomed me as soon as she could. She welcomed me when we got to Dallas and we got off the plane and we were like, we just got to the hotel. She came up to me and was like, "I'm Kara. What is your name?" And
she's so started. She's really good.
No, I have to, like, yeah, I can't, I don't know where I would be today without her welcoming me because I probably would have just been in my room.
Because clearly I just used you for a player in a board game and then
maybe I was bad at the game and you just like didn't even want to be friends with me anymore. No. So no, you were busy like making the gear and stuff.
I had a very defined role in the bubble. It was to do the gear, and I had
Mhm.
a full production going, and I had Justin was assisting me with the vinyl, and it was like a whole deal.
Do
But
you
in
still
my
do that?
yeah, I did it
Like
for
for
I
gear
think
during the season?
I did the Cubs playoff gear. I brought everyone into the world of cricket, and there was only one other girl that knew about it really, or had one or had done it before. And everyone, it never gets old seeing the fascination on people's faces when you do that first vinyl pull, and they're like, "Wow, that's what we're paying these other companies hundreds of dollars to do, and you just did it right there for nothing."
And now people are you into the embroidery machines? That's the new thing I feel like people are
Oh, Kim
doing.
got one, and she is cranking it out, and I love that for her.
Didn't
Um,
Maddie get one? I feel like Maddie got one too. Or maybe I'm making that up. But yeah, the cricketing, I'm not good at it. I try to help, but I'm more of just like a handing people things. I don't trust myself with the peeling of it.
everyone has to have their
But
roles. I'm sure your role was very important, but in
I
my mind,
tried to
I
be
was
helpful.
thinking I had to keep it going. And every
Mhm.
day that we would craft an item, because sometimes people were wearing stuff on their own that they got, there was a pattern. Because I was on the team, they were winning the next day. And so one day in desperation, I just took a blanket that I had, and before the game, I was just ironing numbers on it and handing them out to people because I thought that my crafting was somehow the key to
No,
their
it
success.
was.
I didn't wanna find
We
out.
all have our part.
I didn't wanna find out, um, that if it
I
was or
mean,
not.
there were times where it didn't look good for us, and we ended up winning. So it was just your cricketing. Thank you, Kourtney.
Bleak during the Braves, it was 3-1. It was not looking good.
Yeah,
It
but
wa
I remember Chase did say she was like, "We're gonna win." I
She
was like, "How
felt
do
it.
you know?"
Justin
Yeah,
said that
she
too.
said, yeah.
Well, I said,
I
"What
mean,
what
I
happened?"
didn't know
Go.
anything.
And he's like, "We win tomorrow." And I'm like, "And after that?" And he's like, "We win tomorrow." And he was just there was no panic. And I'm like, "Okay, they're winning tomorrow." And then that night, I was like, "Okay, but you still have to win again. Like, if you lose one more game, it's over." And he's like, "We're winning tomorrow." Like, we genuinely believe that. I'm like, "Okay, I'm glad. Happy to be on board. I'll keep crafting.
Yeah.
Sorry about it." Um, so I think that being your first season is absolutely insane. I think it was Chase's first season.
Mhm.
Just dove in, and then it's hard to even ask if baseball life was what you thought it would be because I feel like you obviously couldn't have thought up the COVID season. But once
I
it
wasn't thinking about baseball very much until
and
it
then
happened to
we're
me.
like, unless they win every single year, which now they do, it can only go down really from there. It's like if you hit a hole
Yeah.
in one the first time you play golf. Like they won the World Series your first season, and that's like
Mhm.
you already reached the highest of highs. So
Yeah, I mean, I think I really probably didn't even realize how rare it was or like because it
yeah,
was just the first time and I thought that, like they're good, this must happen. But I yeah.
not
Um
since 1988, but it's fine. It was
yeah. I mean, it was awesome to be a part of that and yeah, I mean, we made it again. We got to experience another one in 2024, which was awesome to have the parade and everything. But yeah, it was. I mean, we were there. Were we in San Diego that one year where we were all just like lying on the ground after they lost? Was it San Diego?
yeah, it was San
Am I making
Diego.
this up? Yeah,
And
we were
like
just like outside of the clubhouse lying on like random workout
yeah,
equipment.
like the gymnast mat from
Yeah.
PC in school, and this is not a knock on Petco Park or Padres or anything, but they have their trash room
Oh, it smells terrible.
very close to the visiting clubhouse. And so it's just that smell of trash and old alcohol, like that old beer smell. And
Mhm.
combine that with the season ending was not great. I think that was our last year there too. So I didn't know if he was going to go back the next year. So always just a wave of emotion. And then I feel like, yeah, having you had already experienced the peak, and then it's like, oh wait,
Mhm.
it doesn't happen every year. Like there's sadness and it's just done.
Yeah.
It's very like abrupt when it ends. There's no slow that down.
Yeah, especially with all the people that you're not sure if you're going to see again. And like, you really don't see, unless you're super, super close with someone, you're not going to see them
Yeah.
probably ever again. And you get really close to them in these, not ever again, but like, you're not going to spend a lot of time with them.
That group will
And
never be together how it
yeah.
was ever again. And
You're like so in it. Like we were literally, I remember before that game, we were doing our cheers in someone's room. And then we were wearing the plaid. We were wearing plaid. I feel like there was a plaid
I think I
situation.
have a photo of me. Like I was like, let me document this. And I took a photo of me
Was it a rain delay? We were waiting because there was a rain delay or something like that. We were waiting. And then, yeah, and then you're all in together and then suddenly you're never together as a group again. So I guess it is good though that like when we won the World Series in 2020, that's a group that will like there will be an occasion probably. Don't they have reunions for those things? So
I feel like that group was so special. And Justin talks about that group. And I think a lot of it was we literally were living together.
I thought you were going to say a lot of it was that we were cricketing together, but
that's a huge part of it. But that was why the result was what it was. But
yeah. No, Chris feels the same way. Yeah, that was a really awesome. And all those guys are like still his favorite guys from in baseball, I feel like. So
and then they slowly broke up the band. And now I feel like everyone is everywhere. And it's crazy.
Yeah.
Kara's just holding strong.
Yeah. Kara's there for like the next 10 years still. So
I know. I thought about that the other day. I'm like, wow, she is in it for the long haul. And who better? Because she is like, she's the welcome wagon.
Yeah, no, she's
So
seriously
like the leader and getting everyone together. And she's just the best. To Kara's 10 years. It's 10 years, right? You weren't just.
It was. I think it was 10 years. And he's done what? 2 years of it. So 8 more years.
I love that.
Wow. And that's a long time from now. Chris will be well into his 40s, so he'll probably be done by then.
We are already there. It's okay. I feel like I have to ask, going into like more of the regular seasons and like the fan interaction, did you find it weird when people were invested in you or wanted to meet you or went up to you and asked for a photo? Because I feel like some wives are like, oh yeah, it's just part of it. And then I've seen other wives flat out be like, no, that's really weird. Why do they want a photo with me?
Okay, I think I'm somewhere in between those two things. I mean, I don't think they're weird. I just don't understand why someone would care about taking a photo with me, but I think it's very sweet that they care about. I mean, I think it's sweet especially when they care because they have some understanding of the fact that we're like being supportive of their favorite players and stuff. I think that that's very nice that they even care about us. But yeah, I don't really know why anyone would want a photo with me. But yeah, I mean, Kourt, when we're with you, I remember you get a lot of photo requests. I would sometimes just be like, they'd be like, you can join as well.
They're like, can you take
okay, I'll just yeah. Do you know who I am?
encourage people to come up to me on the podcast, and I have stickers that I give out. I'm like a prize.
Really?
Yeah. So I'll say, oh, I always have stickers on me. So if you find me, come up and say hello. So I think I'm encouraging the people to come up to me. But I have seen wives
Should I make stickers?
good.
Maybe I should make
a logo.
Yeah. Does someone draw this logo of you?
Yeah. Brian, one of our loyal listeners. It's a COVID thing. It was born in COVID. But yeah. And I think I encouraged people. But I think I would agree. I think we are the closest they're going to get to interacting with their favorite player or possibly.
Yeah.
Like they may, I don't know. I think there's a big wag, that word, but I think there is a big like wag culture. I blame Taylor Swift now because everyone's obsessed with like athlete wives. But there's a fascination for sure. But I feel like you were always gracious meeting everyone. You weren't one of the gals that I'm talking about that would flat out say no.
I have no idea who you're talking about, so you'll have to tell me later. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, if someone, you can't be mean to people.
No, I don't think it was mean. I think there was a few girls that were just like, no, why would you want a photo of me? And I was like, okay, I don't know. I just
Okay,
always,
I do feel the why would you want a photo with me? But if you're asking for one, then yes,
yeah,
as long as it's not like, I do find it kind of odd when people, you have to have a little feel though. Like if we're like, there have been times where we have like a newborn and he's like, Chris will be like carrying a newborn and he's like crying and someone's like, hey, can I just get a little photo right now?
it's always the, can I get a photo as the phone is already being held up for the selfie? It's like, do
Yeah.
I have a choice?
Yeah.
Do I actually have a choice in the matter? I
Yeah.
know. I feel like some guys, the kids thing is a good one. They're like, oh, I'm with my family. I'm sorry, which is a valid excuse. And I think that guys have a right to say, not right now. But then I think, what if that's their only interaction? I'm a feel batter. I always think when someone comes up and gives the whole spiel and asks for a photo, like I would say 99% of the time, Justin's saying yes, or else I'm like, wait, just say yes. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever heard Chris say no before either.
We were mid toast at a Valentine's dinner at like Steak 44 in Arizona, mid champagne toast. And someone came over and they're like, I don't want to bother you. And I'm like, clink.
It's too late now.
And he stood up and did it. So I can say that I think
Well, Justin is a man of the people. Like he is a charismatic guy. So I can see that. Chris would probably be like a
and Chris
little
is
weird
not.
about that. I mean, he's no Justin.
I feel like though when Chris speaks, it's funny. Like it's sneaky.
Like, was he trying to be funny though? Or it's just unintentionally funny?
I always just think about his toast before the, the playoff.
Oh,
I don't know. I think he's just
what
a
did he say again?
thoughtful
This is
guy.
just a start. This is
It
just a
was.
start. And then they cut him off. They were just like, we're just going to spray you with champagne. This isn't going anywhere.
What was he gonna say? Do you know?
He doesn't know. He said he's kind of, I think he said, he's told me that he didn't really know where that was going.
Yeah, that
So
moment wasn't going to allow Chris to think about what he was gonna say next. They were already the bottles were just
they were
shaking up
popping.
already.
Yeah.
We're popping.
Yeah.
Scott had already shook them up. They were ready to go. I do find it funny that there's someone in the clubhouse shaking the bottles of champagne and the beer up before.
There is?
Yeah, because they'll do in the game, if you ever watch, obviously we're normally at that game when they're clinching, but they'll do a live look in on the clubhouse
Yeah. And they're like taping it up.
and they're showing Scott in there like shaking them.
Scott does it?
Might just be a luxury on the Dodgers. I don't know if other teams are doing it, but I've seen the footage of them going in there and like getting them ready. I don't want to do that too much because it looks
Just
yeah.
bad look.
Doing it off camera. I'm shaking.
Yeah.
I'm shaking the Vouv or whatever it is. It's not Vouv.
No,
Like
it's something better than that, right?
I don't. It's like the crown. What is it called? Queen of Hearts.
It's
Or
like
something.
in the metal.
I don't know. Yeah, they're sure they're ready to go. So he didn't have much time because those corks were popping. So we'll never know. We need to switch gears, and I want to talk about your pups and your rescue dog mom life and how that came to be when you got Hendrix, why it was important for you to rescue a pup.
Well, I grew up with non-rescue dogs, but I also in Hawaii, there's not a lot of rescue dogs, or I think there's not a lot of variety in the breeds and stuff. So I think growing up, my parents just wanted us to have a small dog. But so we grew up with wiener dogs. And then I don't know, I feel like I just started seeing more about rescue dogs being in LA. And I actually got Hendrix when I was 22. So that was a kind of a young age to be getting a dog. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, you know how it is with your dogs. He's like my favorite thing in the whole world.
Yeah.
And he is my human child. And I don't know, you just look into his eyes and he stares into your soul. And then when was that? 2021. Chris and I got Charlotte
Mm-hmm.
from the LaBelle Foundation, and through you guys, actually, we've been involved with Wags and Walks, who we love. And I just think, especially in LA and across the US, there's just so many dogs that need to be adopted. And I think people think that people have very specific, I don't really understand this, but people have very specific ideas of like what their dog needs to look like, which
Right.
I don't, I get the temperament thing, but the look, like general size and temperament, I totally understand. But other than that, I dogs are just meant to give you love and for you to take care of them and have a special connection with them. So I don't really understand that fixation, but people don't even understand that even if you do have that you can find dogs, purebred dogs that are available for adoption. And I don't know. I mean, you and I talk about it all the time, but I really wish people would just adopt and not shop. But
A bumper
yeah.
sticker, and it's great. I
You
know.
have it on your car?
No, but that is a bumper sticker. Adopt, not shop.
Okay. I know. I mean, I know about that bumper sticker. I thought you were saying you have one.
I'm gonna
We
send
should get them.
I'll do it. We'll launch the merch. No,
Yeah.
and I've heard that too, and I've asked friends about it, and they'll say, "Oh, well, I don't want to rescue because they're unpredictable." And yes, like Rigby is 1,000% unpredictable, but that's part of the reason why I love him. But also, there are dogs being taken out of puppy mills that are days old that have like, how do you know that this temperament, or maybe foster a dog, which Rigby was a foster fail. He was like right before COVID. He was sent to us. A friend said he was, I don't know if it's called like red tagged, but he was on his last days before they were, yeah. And she was like, "Do you think you could foster him? He looks like your other dog." And I was like, "Oh, that's a great reason to reach out to me. Sure, why not play into that?" And so we fostered him, and I had every intention of giving him back. And he was difficult. He didn't like Justin at first. Right away, he gravitated towards me, which I was like, "Oh, my soulmate. I love you so much."
Mhm.
Even when we met him at WAGS, I went to the bathroom and he walked over to the door and was crying at the door, waiting for me to come back from the bathroom. And Justin was like, "Well, cool. Nice." And I think Justin had, like before COVID, but Justin had an appearance at the field and he came home and was in a dress shirt and not wearing the hat and all that. And Rigby was like, "Who are you?" And like, was mad that this guy was in the house. I'm like, "Oh, wait, he loves me and he's going to protect me and he's my soulmate and I'm just obsessed with him." And I feel like, yeah, Rigby can be like, he went through training with Corey and he was different than dogs I was used to, where you had to put a little work into it. But I feel like that's what makes him that much more special. And knowing that he was days away from not being here just absolutely crushes
Oh,
my
yeah.
heart. And so I think I would just encourage people, and I know you would too, to foster a dog and have a foster
Yes.
sale, because there's so many you could foster a different dog every month and try it out.
Mhm. And even if you only foster, that's doing a lot. Like, even if you don't end up adopting dogs, if you just foster them, you're saving them and being a bridge for them to find their forever family.
Yeah.
And I mean, I didn't even talk about Nolly, my parents' dog that I fostered.
I have that on
And
my notes here. Don't worry.
yeah.
About taking on a pregnant dog while you were pregnant.
Yeah, I was like 7 months pregnant and I saw on Instagram a dog and her sister that were going. You can't hear Theo crying right now, can you?
It sounds like a daycare, but I'm just like, I'm used to it, so it's fine.
Can you seriously?
Yeah, but it's fine.
He's been having a little bit of like emotional issues since we've been here. He's just a little bit sad.
I
But
didn't think he was crying. I thought he was having a grand old time.
okay,
So
he's having a great time out there. Yeah,
Someone-
so I saw on Instagram these these two sisters that were going to be put down that day unless someone fostered them. So I was like 6 or 7 months pregnant and Chris was like about to go to the field and I was like, "I just want to let you know that I might, when you come home today, I might have a dog." So he was like, he knew better than to question me at that point. So he just came home and there was a dog. I went to go get her. and she was pregnant, and so was her sister, but someone else fostered her sister. And they said they didn't know how far along she was, but she was pretty big. And then, like, a few days later, she just gave birth to the puppies in my garage she was supposed to be in a pool, like one of those kiddie pools without water in it.
That was the
And
birth
she was
plan.
just, yeah. But so they told me, like, she'll know what to do. They were like, she will know what to do. Just give her space and she'll just know what to do.
Better
And
woman than me. I had
thankfully,
no
my mom sent me a video on YouTube that was about how to, like, be a birth doula for dogs, a midwife. And I watched it, and I also looked at this one Reddit article that said, like, what you need to have, because I didn't have any, like, supplies. They just told me that she was just going to know what to do. She had no idea what to do. I think
She's
she was, like,
looking at you
freaking
heard
out.
Oh.
Yeah, she was like, neither of us know what's going on. She was just, like, running around the garage, freaking out. After the first puppy came out, I had to, like, open the sack and, like, cut the umbilical cord. And then each one, she wasn't taking to them. But then eventually she came around. She was like, her face was in my lap, and she was just, like, giving birth.
Oh my God.
She was really, like, fixated. She was really fixated on me. And yeah, so all the puppies ended up getting adopted. We kept them for a few weeks after, and then they went to another foster. And then I told my parents that they needed to adopt her. So she's their first adopted dog. Before that, they only had their dachshunds. So now she lives in Arizona. She's really living her best life. My mom cries every time she thinks about her not being alive, because that could have been her end, like, that same day. So yeah, I think I was very scared to do it, but it's one of the best things I've ever done. I think obviously you don't have to, like, foster a pregnant dog. It could just be
You did it the extreme. Like,
yeah, I went,
wow, I have to really commit and be a midwife
yeah.
doula for a rescue dog. But no,
Yeah.
you can just
Yeah. And I asked Chris if I could do it this time, and he said that it wouldn't be a good idea this pregnancy. So, but I did tell him that I just want him to know that if I ever see a dachshund, a long-haired dachshund for adoption, I will be adopting it without even mentioning it to him. So he's prepared for that, at least.
I love that. He knows better than to question. Were you just locked in the moment, or was it an emotional experience being pregnant and watching the miracle?
Honestly, I think
I would have just
prepared me a little bit.
Okay.
I mean, I think that it kind of prepared me a little bit, seeing her go through that. She was like, she was in pain for sure. It's definitely different with dogs. So they each come out in their own little, like, sack thing. So that was different, but it was kind of extreme. It was one of the crazier things I've ever done. And my sister flew in from San Francisco to, like, help me, to, like, assist me in the birth process. And we had to take down all their weights, and every day we were weighing them. And, like, it was this whole thing. It was really intense. And Chris would just Chris came home that night, because she started giving birth around 8 and finished around 2. And Chris, like, popped in after, and I couldn't text him because I was after the game, because I was just, like, had my hands dirty.
You're, like, scrubbed in. You just
Yeah. He just came in and popped in the garage and was like, everything okay here? And she had 7 puppies. So
you were in the live action of, like, 101 Dalmatians.
I didn't have time to talk. I was like, you can go to bed. See you in the morning.
Yeah, that's not necessary to do. You can do a smaller scale of that and just foster on the weekends or whatever.
Yeah, or even volunteer somewhere. I know WAGS has volunteering opportunities, right? Just, like, at their facility. Yeah, there are too many dogs up for adoption to buy one.
I agree. I'll co-sign on that one. Well, we have to talk about your foundation, and it started in 2020, right?
Mhm.
Was this something that Chris already had in motion? Because I know he had done events before. Is this something he
Yeah,
already had?
so Chris started it in 2020. Kind of, it was before I really had a say in anything. Like he was just doing it already when we met, starting it. But then I think it was 2021. 2021. Yeah, that we had the virtual concert and he kind of put that together. That was actually really cool looking back on it. We had a lot of big names during that COVID
Mhm.
fundraiser. And then after that, we did. So, I mean, to rewind, Chris started the foundation because one of his best friends, childhood friends, Kyle, passed away of cancer, osteosarcoma, when he was, I mean, he was with the Dodgers then, right before I met him, actually. So I think it was 2019 and then 2018 or 2019. And then shortly after that, in 2020, one of my childhood friends passed away from sarcoma as well. And so it was kind of, we both had a combined interest in cancer and cancer research and just helping people with cancer, especially young people and their families. So that's kind of where it started. And then from there, we've kind of expanded. And now we work a lot with the Boys and Girls Club in Boyle Heights, and now with our Polar Plunge for the past 3 years. This is our third year raising money for the Friendship Foundation in South Bay, which helps young people with special needs kind of learn life skills. And this year we're going back more to our roots and also raising money for the Pediatric Cancer Research Foundation. So those are our two beneficiaries this year. And yeah, polar plunging. You guys didn't plunge last year, did you?
No, I should have.
But
I
you had Bo. You couldn't have,
Yeah, I mean, I
right?
probably could have. Yeah, he was young, but no, we didn't plunge. I feel like we didn't earn our stripes. I need to
You
know
can
where
do it. You can do it in Cabo. Is the water warm?
I'll go in the actual cold
Yeah, go on the cold plunge.
plunge,
You,
the one that Mackenzie loved so much.
yeah, you can go with Chase because Chase can't make it either, and Maddie. Okay, all three of you better be cold plunging. It will be colder than, it's not even that cold. So if anyone is worried about it being too cold, Chris always says it's really not that cold because he's from the East Coast, but
Yeah.
yeah, so you just plunge. I just go in and out. People hang out in there. I kind of just, it wasn't my idea to have a polar plunge. It was Chris's. So
Okay, so this came from his love of
mind.
ocean and the surfing and the
I think so. I think it's more common on the East Coast to have polar plunges, right? Because it's like colder and it's
yeah, and we
polar.
have him in Chicago and the lake and all that.
Mhm. So I think he wanted something because our first big event was at Top Golf, and it was just it was kind of expensive. Like the tickets were expensive, and it kind of felt like we were pricing people out of
Yeah.
supporting these organizations. That one was for CHLA. So we kind of wanted something that was more community friendly and more people be able to participate in. So we have like discounts for students and different organizations. So yeah, I think we just wanted it to be like a big group event.
Yeah, I think that's where we're at on our 5K because we have our golf tournament and I feel like that's the bigger event that prices people out sometimes, and
Mhm.
it's trying to come up with different ideas and get creative where more people can be involved. And I feel like what better than a polar plunge? And
Yeah, it's hard.
it kind of became the good luck charm for the Dodgers too.
Yeah. So if they want to, anyone who wants to come back,
It's
um,
like the cricketing, like if they don't
yeah,
want out if
yeah,
that's what it is. So we'll see who shows up and wants to keep the good luck.
yeah. We know that Will's coming. I'm trying to think who else Chris knows is coming. There will be Dodgers there. But now, yeah, since Chris isn't on the Dodgers anymore, there are players from the Angels, and it's kind of more of a general LA sports type of event. but there will definitely be Dodgers there, and Suhu will be there. So
Well,
he will be taking some good photos.
it's the star of the show, getting everyone in the ocean. It's
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it from afar. I'll film it.
You better.
Don't worry.
I'm
Or
gonna need video evidence.
you could just add me to the stream because you'll have your auction, and then we'll do a live look-in on the plunge.
Yeah.
With Maddie,
Yeah.
Chase, and I.
Mhm.
It'll be perfect. We'll be there to support from afar. You guys have a good auction too. Last year, I
We
remember
do.
wow. We did go home with the Brett Young guitar last year.
Yes.
Proud of that.
We have a Brad Paisley guitar that we got from our own auction once.
Ooh.
It's those are cool to like hang up in your house. We have some good jerseys, some cool experiences. I know I just heard that we put together a good golf package. Something about following a PGA. I don't know enough about golf, but you're following like a PGA pro on some PGA tournament.
Oh, that's
So that's cool. I'll just name drop Shohei. That will help, right?
hey.
Shohei jersey. There will be a Shohei jersey.
And that'll be the biggest item. I
Yeah.
know. It's good. It's like it's funny when you put together an auction because you're trying to think of a good variety. And I always try to think of stuff for the gals because with golf, guys are gone all day. And I think that they want to bring something
Spa.
to their wife. Yeah. So I'm always
Yeah. Oh, also Happy Jewelers donated some I think it's a tennis bracelet and diamond earrings. So if anyone wants to get anything for their wives, so you
Shohei,
can go if you want to
diamonds.
go do the golf and she can have the diamonds, then we got you covered.
What could be better? No, that's perfect. And you can still get tickets. Should they go to CT3Foundation.org or is there somewhere else?
Yes, I think that's the best way to the other URL is just so long. I can't figure out how to even put it in my bio. So just go to CT3 Foundation. I keep trying to like link it on Instagram and then just go to CT3Foundation.org. And then through there, you can also get to the auction and you can participate in the auction even if you're not there. So we look forward to having people and it's growing every year. It's really cool to see everyone go into the ocean. And I'm currently trying to convince my own dad to do it because he's like, thinks he's too old to go into the ocean. But I think it is really cool to do something that you don't feel like doing to show your support for people who are going through things that are like way harder than going into the ocean for like a few seconds. So yeah, I think it's great to just challenge yourself to do something uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's what I try to think of when I do my running events for raising money. I'm like, this is the
Oh
least,
yeah.
and this is nothing. Like I'm fine.
I mean, what you do is really hard though. Like you run marathons, like that's really hard. But yeah, and then also you'll get like a towel after. We'll make sure you get nice and warm. It's really not that bad. You just get in and out, you get a towel, you get a medal, and then there's a VIP event after too if people want to sign up for that where you can like get food and we'll have a mentalist there. Were you there? You weren't there for the mentalist. He's pretty cool. And that's where the live action will be. Yeah. It's kind of scary, the things he can do.
Is it the one that was at Kershaw's ping pong?
No, it's another guy, but it's similar.
Ended up across the room on someone else. It was a whole
team. That was crazy. Yeah. I don't understand how I think it's actual magic.
No, I agree. Someone came up to me in Vegas at dinner and it was Justin and we're there with a couple friends and they're like, really quick, can I do a magic trick? And he's doing this card trick, whatever. And then all of a sudden I think he had Justin's license in the deck of cards, which I was like, okay, you just robbed him. And then he's like, and open your hand. And I opened my hand and I had an X on my hand in Sharpie. And a few minutes before that, I had went to the restroom and I came back and everyone at the table was like, oh, he saw you outside the bathroom and you put that on your hand and you were in on it. And I swear, guys, I have no idea how that got on my hand. I don't know if I was just watching him and I was like just sitting here like hand open and he did it, but I to this day have no idea. So I am fascinated. I think it was actual magic. And
it reminds me of when we went to Magic Castle.
Oh yeah.
Crazy things happen there too. But yeah.
Who
I
did
don't
have
understand.
shoes at the Magic Castle? Was it Will? We had to like go
I
buy
will
them.
have to go back and get different shoes.
Wait, what? Oh, we had sneakers on or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do love that they have a strict dress code at the Magic Castle. It is tux, right? Or like you have to have a tie.
I think it's a tie. I don't think it's a tux.
Yeah,
Chris wouldn't have had a
true. I
tux.
think it's suit, full tie, buttoned up. Girls have to be in a dress, and you can't wear sneakers. Will, but someone ran and got them. They maybe went to our house and got them. I have no idea.
Yeah, I think they borrowed some.
Yeah, we were fine. Okay. Well, before I let you go, let's do some rapid fire real quick.
Okay.
We're good with it. Off season or baseball season?
Off season.
Off season babies. Favorite restaurant?
Well, I'm in Arizona right now, so Buck and Ryder.
Oh, I haven't been to that. Favorite candy?
Sour Patch Kids with Lee-Hing on it.
I knew you were going to say that. A TV show that you're binge watching right now?
Not binge watching because we're up to date, but Landman.
Oh, Justin's watching that one. I am not. I am just watching Traders and Wheel of Fortune, but it's just
Well, Chris was watching Family Feud constantly, as you know. So
I know he is. I would have known his answer. He probably gave that same answer on this podcast. Something that you would have to have on a deserted island, other than your family, of course.
like some skincare, I think.
Yeah, like SPF or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Walk up song.
So I think it would be I know it would be a Post Malone song. I'm not sure which one.
It wouldn't be Dua Lipa, or is that a Chris thing?
We
Like-
both like Dua Lipa.
Okay.
But yeah, that one of our friends loves Dua Lipa, so that year was a tribute to him. But I'm a Post Malone gal.
No Copperhead Road. I love that. And lastly, a beauty hack.
I don't know if
Or a
I have any hacks.
Or a tip or something.
I've been putting on lip balm before I go to sleep, and that is, I don't know if everyone does that, if that's normal. Do you do that? Okay. Well, I just started doing that, and
Breaking
wow,
guys.
wow, when you wake up,
You heard it here first. You're not doing
Yeah.
the lip mask? I think everyone does.
No, I just do a little chapstick.
Vaseline or something. Okay.
Also just a little bit of under eye concealer for moms. You just need a little bit like here and here. And just when you look at yourself in the mirror and you see like when you don't see those eye bags, it makes you feel better. So that's another
I
one.
will say I have tried to take a couple minutes because normally if I'm not going anywhere, I'm not getting dressed and I'm not putting on makeup. And I will say the days that I do just a minute or two, like little concealer, a little rouge, it really transforms your whole mindset.
It really does. Like an eyebrow brush, you brush your eyebrows, a little bit of concealer under your eyes, and just maybe a little lip balm, which apparently everyone be using.
We're just now.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Well, that's going to do it for today's episode. How can people find you on Instagram? I don't even know it, or I would share it. Oh wow, we got to fix this. Okay. Is there another one of you, or you have to do all the, there's a lot of.
What?
I mean, I can't talk. Mine's complicated, but I went to look up your Instagram handle and I realized it's
MK Taylor 808.
I know. I just said it's complicated.
Why is it complicated?
I mean, I have underscores in mine, so I have no room to talk.
How should I shorten it? Do you have a suggestion?
No, I don't know. No, I mean,
Okay,
you can't remove the 808 because there's going to be another MK Taylor, right?
MK Taylor. Yeah, Chris has a very common last name, so this is where I'm at.
You're
808 is Hawaii area code, so
I like it. Come around on it.
Okay.
I acted a little too soon.
I'm gonna have to workshop some new handles. Okay,
And
by the time this airs, by the time you post this, I may have a different handle. So
and a logo that I'm gonna
I'll keep them guessing.
for sticker.
Okay. Well, thanks,
Okay.
Kourt.
Well, thank you all for listening, and I will talk to you next week. Thanks, Mary. MK Taylor 808.
Okay, bye.
Bum 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 bum.